Hey everyone, Jack Zhang, EFN cameraman for BronyCAN. I do apologize for some of the camera work coming up in this panel because we were in a time rush. The panel started without warning. We couldn't get a good angle and we messed up. So please forgive us, and here is Rebecca and Vincent.
I'd like to welcome up Rebecca Shoichet, who is, of course, not only Sunset Shimmer from Equestria Girls, but also the singing voice of Twilight Sparkle over everything. And we also have Vincent Tong, who's played a number of Season 1 characters. You've got Prince Blueblood, you've got Pony Joe, also Donut Joe, and you've also got Flash Sentry from Equestria Girls.
Ooh, ah. He used to be my boyfriend. Until you dumped me for that, Twilight.
Sorry.
How's everybody doing? Yay! I should say every pony. I'm new.
Hello? Hello? How come Rebecca's mic is so much louder than mine?
I'm projecting.
Oh, there.
No.
Oh. So, how many of you, is this your first convention? And, oh, okay, so probably the same for pony conventions. Okay, so I have a couple random questions for these guys, and then what we're going to do is just open it up to audience questions. So anything you ask, as long as it's reasonable, and I'll go over all of that stuff later. So first of all, I guess, how was your trip all the way to Vancouver?
Tiring. I'm exhausted. I live in Richmond.
So as some of you may know, Studio DHX, which produces the show, as well as a lot of the VAs, are currently residing here. So it's very convenient to get some of them for this convention. And as I mentioned, these two, this is their first con, so please welcome them kindly. Okay, so now for the ridiculously boring questions that everyone gets asked at the start. I guess what I want to start off with is, how did you make it into MLP?
I was actually doing some demo singing for Daniel on the Musicians Union side of things. Sorry, I'll lean in because it sounds like I might be feeding back a bit. So I started doing the singing, just singing some of the songs because I'm a singer around town, and Daniel brought me in to do some demo stuff for things like Martha Speaks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that show, and so then I got a job kind of out of that. It's kind of like auditioning.
My first character was Prince Blueblood, and I was like, whoa, My Little Pony is still going on, because I used to watch it as a kid. Well, no, my sister did. I did as well. But so I did Prince Blueblood, which was a super fun character to do, and which was really great because it was just like me and all these other female voice actors. I was like, wow, this show is amazing, and they're very talented. They're very talented. That's why. And then I did a couple of other characters. I think I did Garble the Dragon maybe next. And that was over an MP3 audition that I sent in from my house. And at first he talked like this. And then I think by the time we got into the studio, it was more like kind of like a teenage voice. And then I think they even morphed it a bit more because I was sounding too much.
Garble was the red one, right?
He was the red one, yes. And then I did Pony Joe or Donut Joe, and I didn't even know I did that voice because he was sort of like a sparse one that they threw at me, and I didn't recall that until someone on Twitter was like, "Did you do this voice?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think that's me."
I think I did. I did. Awesome.
And Flash was fun. Flash was funny because it was written.
He's totally just you. He's written. Somebody followed you around and wrote a script.
No. It was weird because the breakdown of the character was Flash Sentry. He's this really cool, really reserved, introverted, more of like a poet. So I sort of went in like that, kind of like a goth, emo kind of kid. And they're like trying to get something out of me, and I'm like, no, he's cooler than that. I'm like, I'm trying to be as cool as I can. And then I just was like, oh, I did it. And I remember running into you. You were on your bike.
Yeah.
With your little one.
Yeah.
And I was like, how was your audition? You're like,
I think I said
you're just gonna like, I think you were going to your audition or something.
I was going to my audition
Yeah.
it was for Sunset Shimmer.
Yeah, and
I was
I
going
just
to my
finished.
audition for Sunset Shimmer, and he just finished his audition for
Yeah.
Flash Sentry, and I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna get cast in that show.
And that's what I
pretty
said,
much.
too.
So
I'm like-
that was, I'd written it off. I thought, no, I haven't been in the series. I'm not gonna make this role. Whatever, you know.
No, here we are.
And here we are.
Very
Yay!
happy.
I got cast. Yes.
So how many of you have seen the movie?
Awesome.
Wonderful.
That's
Okay,
great.
so yeah, we can talk in spoiler and everything.
No spoiler alerts. Good.
Okay, so so this is your first con, and what's your initial reaction to kind of everyone and like the feel of what's going on here? I know it's like you want like the first panel pretty much, so it's sort of hard to.
This is awesome. I love the energy. Everybody who's shown up, it's so cool. I like that it's all ages and lots of stuffies, lots of huggable things. Yeah, we're just getting started, so I'm looking forward to a fun weekend.
Me too. Same. You guys are cool. And I'm happy I'm here.
Okay, so let's see what I've got here. Rebecca, so how's it feel being a princess?
It's nerve-wracking, to be honest. There's a lot of pressure being a princess, but I get to be her nemesis too, so it's kind of like.
Yeah, so I mean, you actually played a really big role with the movie, you know, as far as like singing and doing the antagonist role.
That was really fun, but I was thinking like, I hope Sunset Shimmer doesn't end up sounding like Twilight at all, because that would suck.
Yeah, it's nice because like they finally gave you an actual like character in the show. Like you had been singing all this time, and
Yeah.
everyone else seemed like to pick up this random thing or that random thing. But I was wondering, you know, when you'd get like sort of a shot, and then you were kind of like the big antagonist of this movie. So
Yeah, I was pretty surprised at how, you know, huge that character was in the movie. So it was exciting, but yeah, it was a lot of work too. You know, it's hard work being mean. You have to pull it out from your darkest places, and it's actually.
You're very
you know.
scary in that movie. You're
So
very, very
you
scary.
know, never to cross me, right?
It's true.
So-
Well, I don't cross you in real life. But you freaked me out in the movie. It actually
It's a
did
scary
scare me.
character. Yeah, she.
By the end of it, it was very, very scary.
Oh God, ripping like my vocal cords out. She got really demony at the end, so she was really scary. And when I saw the movie, oh my God, I was terrified, like grabbing Kathy Westlick. God, I'm like slobbering and everything.
I know some people were worried about the kids. You know, seeing
I was
that.
concerned. I have two little girls, and I was concerned about whether I should actually show the movie to them, but they're tough as nails, and they loved it, so that's good.
See,
I
mean,
didn't scar them for life.
I guess we were already sort of getting into it, but yeah, I mean, if since you both are very familiar with the movie, obviously, you know, we can keep just making comments. Like, I'm sure they would like to know more of like what you guys think about like the movie, or kind of like the change as far as like getting into that alternate universe, or like just, do you have any particular thoughts you want to share?
I was really excited to see the movie, and recording it was really funny because we didn't record together. When I was recording, it was with all the guys. So it was with Snips and Snails and Peter New. And
It was a boys' club and a girls' club.
Yeah, it was. And it was really difficult to record with Peter New standing next to you. Because I was trying to, yeah, he did that. He literally was like, looking at me. Because I don't know, I had these lines that I had to sound so cool and ask Twilight out. You know,
Who read for Twilight?
I think maybe the director did. He wasn't very good.
He wasn't very hot.
But it was, it was like trying to be like, hey, so if you don't have a date, do you want to go to the dance? And Peter New's face is right here, just staring at me. I'm like, this is so hard. I was laughing so hard and I couldn't get through it. I'm actually glad that they had it one take that was decent.
Well, did he ever tell you about his role in Hearts and Hooves? Like
No.
his session with Nicole?
No.
Like, and if anyone hasn't heard about this, you should look up some of the other panels. Like, do you know the episode where Big
and
Mac
Hooves,
and Shirley,
yeah.
had the whole dating thing going on? Apparently, that recording session was just fantastic. Like they could practically not keep it together during that whole thing. So I guess, Rebecca, there was definitely a change in the style of music going from the show to the movie. What was that like? I mean, did you appreciate it? Like, do you prefer like one or the other? Like, did you like kind of doing more of like a pop style?
Well, I love singing pop music, and I guess you would consider maybe the show as a little bit more musical theater, but I think it's got a lot of elements of pop in it already. So I thought that the movie really sort of was a bit more edgy and had a bit more a little bit more driving beats behind it and things like that. But I enjoyed singing both styles and I also thought that it was a slight departure stylistically, so it really sort of forwarded the teen theme of the movie a little bit, and it had some great hooks. I love the music from the movie. It was hard to not sing those songs sort of like out in public and stuff. Like, we have to sign all these non-disclosure agreements until it actually is released, right? So I was down in LA for the premiere. I was so very lucky to be down there for that at the LA Film Fest, and they were playing the tracks before the movie, and I was singing along because I finally got a chance to just let it out. They're great songs.
I heard there's actually some footage of you and Ingram floating around.
Yeah, somebody filmed our down at the LA Film Fest. It was like part of Family Day, and Daniel and I did a little acoustic karaoke kind of set. It was like a family sing-along, and somebody filmed the entire thing, like no tripod, just holding and laughing, and you can hear this whomever's voice it is, going, "We love you, Daniel," and things like that, and posted the whole thing online. So if you want to go check it out, it's on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah, and most of the bronies and children knew the words better than I did, because most of the songs were songs I haven't even sung before, because they weren't even my songs. It was just like, let's do the most popular pony songs, and I said, okay. I had to learn them. Let's do it. And the Smile song has so many words, oh my gosh, but you guys probably know them all.
All of them. I'm sure everyone knows all.
I don't doubt it.
I mean, I think Win the Crown is definitely like a new favorite for a lot of people. I have an outfit myself. I'm probably going to be wearing it tomorrow. I know some other people, have started putting them together. And yeah, obviously wonderful music, and definitely some more stuff to sing along to. So how does, when you're getting directed, in the studio for voice acting or singing, like, is there a particular difference between the two? I know Ingram will generally coach, like, the singing, at least as far as I've heard, but is there any
Similarities or
differences?
You did some singing too, didn't you?
Not for My Little Pony.
Okay.
No.
Well, Jason Tyson is always in on this, or Thiessen? How is it pronounced? I don't even know, for crying out loud.
Thiessen?
Jason's always in the sessions, so he's always in the music sessions there to make sure that I'm on the right track with the Twilight sound, and in the actual film when we did Equestria Girls, that was Terry Clausen. And Daniel does the directing and the music side of things. And basically, it's just, they just want to get the best performance from you as possible. And that it sounds natural. There's a lot of, because when you're behind the microphone, it can sort of sometimes take away from acting with another person or feeding off of the energy of another person if you're just there in the studio all by yourself. So they want to make sure that you are sounding like, your truth, that you're always sort of in touch with the feelings of really letting the emotions come through. Did that sound vague enough for you? Because sounded vague to me as I was saying it.
So have you actually interacted much with Tara, the speaking counterpart?
I just met her for the first time this past
In LA?
June in LA. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
LA.
I've actually, my very first cartoon was called Sushi Pack, and Tara Strong was in that, and she came up to record a few times in Vancouver, and everyone's like, oh, that's Tara Strong, Tara Strong. I'm like, who's Tara Strong? Like, that's Tara Strong. I'm like, oh, hey, Tara, what's up? And so that was really cool when I found out, like, wow, she did stuff like that I really love, like Family Guy and a whole bunch of other, like, what's that, drawn show? What's that? Yes, Drawn Together. My gosh, that's so funny. And so yeah, it was really cool to be like, wow, she's a person I admire as a voice actor. So.
And she also originated from Canada, despite moving. And yeah, she is definitely one of the few people that is on the show that is not like actually local to here. Oh, I guess while we're on the topic of music, I know you can sing as good as Twilight, but can you dance as good as her?
We should ask Vincent. Can I?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the question is open to either of you.
Yes, I can dance as well as Twilight. Thank you.
I meant, can I?
Oh, can you? Yeah, she breaks it down. She breaks it down.
I don't suppose you'd like to demonstrate.
Let's do a little. I'll just do a little table move. Okay, that's all I got.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you for the beatboxing. Vincent Tong, beatboxer.
So I sort of asked this earlier, but before the session. But what do you think of the name Brad? I know some of you know what I'm talking about.
Brad, it's a good name. I think Flash Sentry is a better name though.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you were asking me if I knew about that whole thing, and yeah, I looked it up a bit and researched the character of Brad and seen what the whole talk was about. I think Megan had said there was another name for him. I forget what it is though. Some sort of like cute bottom something. I don't remember.
Perhaps you can get back to us tomorrow.
Maybe, yeah.
Because these guys will be coming back tomorrow for the very long VA panel. So I guess you brought up a little bit of your other work. Is there anything in particular you'd like to, like any sort of big
Shameless
roles?
plugs?
Yes.
Shameless plugs.
Anything you might be working on that hasn't come out yet that you can talk about?
Well, I just did this project that I'm really proud of and very excited about. It's called Packages from Planet X. It's on Disney XD, I think, in the States. And it's going to be coming out on Teletoon in Canada. And this was a part that I played like long time ago, like almost 4 years ago. We did the pilot, and I was like, it was my first lead guy part. And his voice is just like really excited the whole time. He's like, oh my gosh, everything's like crazy, and he's like all bonkers. And I was like, awesome, my first lead part, and I'm a crazy dude. And then they actually got greenlit by Disney, and then we recorded the whole season last year. I almost lost the role because you have to audition again for the part that you helped make, which is awesome. And then, I got my third call back, and I was like, please, I just want my baby back. Baby back, ribs. And then, so that's coming out, or that's out in the States. And also a show called Lolly Rock that I think is also another Disney show that stars Ashley Ball, Tabitha St. Germain, and what's that other girl's name? Who's the other person in that show? My gosh, she's gonna kill me. Kazumi Evans!
Yes.
Kazumi Evans, yeah. So they're the three princesses, and I play Mephisto. He's like the antagonist, along with my twin sister, Kelly Sheridan. So that's a really fun show. It's like almost like a new age Sailor Moon, and it's really fun. There's a lot of amazing kung fu fighting.
Awesome.
So there you go.
Cool.
Rebecca?
I'm fairly recently, we've wrapped up a whole whack of episodes of a thing called Maya the Bee, which Andrea Libman plays Maya, and I get to play her sidekick, Willie. So you can check that out. Pretty much just on YouTube, though, because I don't think it's airing in Canada right now. It airs in the States, I believe, but it's on there. It's out there. Get it airing on a network.
It's out there.
I've noticed this. Vancouver seems to make a lot of our shows. They just don't watch them.
Yeah, we don't watch our stuff.
Yeah, well, it's not really up to the fans.
Yeah.
Although we could write, hey, by the way, network, blah, blah, blah. Can you put this on?
Yeah.
Because we like this show on the YouTubes.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be nice if we could see it on the cable TVs.
Oh, can I plug one more thing?
Do it.
Oh, go ahead.
You guys can keep watching. I don't know if you guys watch Ninjago at all. It's a Lego cartoon. I play the voice of Kai. He's the Red Ninja. You guys keep watching because I really love doing that show and I would love more seasons.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Okay, so actually one more small question. Someone asked me this earlier. When you're doing Twilight songs, Rebecca, do you actually also do the small incidental Twilight lines, or does Tara still do those?
No, Tara does those. Mm-hmm. So we have to really be good matchy match. I have to really sound like her, or if she interjects verbally in the middle of a song, it could sound weird. Word.
So we are actually about halfway in right now, so I think we could probably start with the audience Q&A. Screwball over here will be... ask Screwball your questions first, and then just come on up to the center mic here. So remember, and I don't even know whether these guys are continuing work on Pony. Hopefully they are. Well, I would hope Rebecca is, especially is Twilight Singer, but try to avoid season 4 questions, despite the little bit that Hasbro showed at Comic-Con. And of course, keep it, kosher. And also
and PG-13.
Yeah.
Or 14.
I'm not
or
sure
12.
of the Canadian rating system. But yes, and also they might not be completely aware of all the crazy fan stuff. There's just so much of it out there.
Ask away.
I'm not
Yeah.
even.
Ask away. Ask us anything. We will give you some sort of answer.
All right, so my friend and I were actually talking a bit about, is this good? Okay, there we go. My friend and I were actually asking about, there is no villain song in Equestria Girls, and we were kind of sad about that. So we were wondering, would it have sounded too much like Twilight singing if Sunset Shimmer was singing? Would there have been a clash there, or could you not get it with Daniel? Because I'm a sucker for villain songs.
I know, it would have been good to have a villain song, totally. I don't think there would have been too much of a crossover sound, because I think whatever would have been written by them would have been far enough from the Twilight vibe. I would trust that it would have been okay.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
Now that my question was stolen, thank you, Tony. Two questions, one for each of you. Just Vince, have you ever done a singing role? Have you ever had a chance to do singing for a character in a show, or no? And if you haven't, would you like to?
I did a singing. I've sung a lot. I've done musicals my whole life, so I've do singing and dancing.
He's an amazing singer.
For most of my career. There you go. And but I sang. Let's see. I sang something for some pilots, and I sang a jingle actually with Ashley Ball. Ashley and I used to do a singing and dancing show choir together called Sound Sensation. But it was really cool to work with her after all these years that we didn't do that. But we sang a jingle for some real estate place in Toronto, and it was really cheesy and fun. And I sang for this new show. I think it's a YTV show for all you Canadian viewers. I think I can talk about this one. Called Nerds and Monsters. And yeah, so that's about it. And I just sing for fun in my shower.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then Rebecca, I know this is going to be a hard question. I don't expect a good answer, but if you can, what is your favorite song that you've had to sing for Pony, if there is one?
Oh, there's a lot of good songs. I really liked singing Morning in Ponyville, and also My Big Brother. That was a lot of fun too.
Okay.
But they're all really good songs, so it's kind of hard to pick. But those are kind of up there and the ones that kind of come back at me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, so how does one go from being a regular actor to a voice actor?
We are now unregular.
Well, I mean, like...
Irregular.
Irregular. Non-regular.
I get auditions for non-voice parts, and I don't get any voice part auditions, so how does one get voice auditions?
Oh.
Well, I do both. So I do TV and film as well as voice acting, and it's funny because I tell people I do a lot of cartoon voices, and I'm like, oh, cool, so you're a voice actor. I'm like, well, I'm an actor. I'm an actor that does voices as well, and it's funny because we sometimes overlook the fact that voice acting for cartoons it requires a lot of good acting, because there are some bad actors and bad voice actors
On screen and off.
Yeah, I mean totally, but it requires some chops to do both, I think, and I don't interchange the intention and the motivation for either or. It's just I think in cartoons it's just a lot more hyper.
But as far as the business side of things, you might want to consider putting together a demo reel of all the different voices that you can do. And it doesn't hurt if you can write it, write a little sketch with all your different voices intermingling and chatting and sound effects and all that stuff, and have that recorded so that you have something to offer people to listen to say, this is an example of me doing voiceovers.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I have a question for both of you. I'm in high school right now, and watching Equestria, it being high school themed, it didn't really feel quite right. But I was wondering if it reminded you of your high school experience.
That's a good question.
In what way did it not feel right?
Well, I'm not from a big high school, but it felt like a lot more crowded and rushed. So.
Yeah, like all those busy hallway scenes.
Yeah, there was a lot of different colored people there. So it was like mine. My high school was like that. It was good.
It's a very colorful place.
Very, very colorful.
A lot of legs everywhere. I guess it was busy. You're right. It was very busy. But I think when you put stuff into animation, it's got to have some crazy crowd energy.
No, my high school was like that.
Busy?
We had it was busy. Tons of people.
Lots of locker
Lockers,
hangouts.
lots of shoving and pushing and colorful people.
So,
great.
Was it normal not to attend class?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did they ever go to class? I don't know.
That's funny.
At least Twilight didn't. No,
No.
she just spent
They
her time
just-
in the library.
Yeah.
But they have special classes where people can, self-directed learning,
Sure.
right? Maybe
Yeah.
she's in a special program for self-directed learners. Maybe.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have a question, but these scarves were made by a friend of mine. She's given the scarves to many of the other voice actors, and these are for you guys.
Oh, thank
my
you.
gosh, so-
That's so nice. Oh wow, donuts!
You know,
Woo! Oh my
I'm
gosh.
losing my mind right now.
I know, this is amazing. Holy cow. Blue blood,
One for every session.
Flash Century, one for every second. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Woo. Wow,
So
amazing.
okay.
That's gorgeous.
And what's her
Sweet.
Tweet
Thank you
that.
very much. which one should I wear?
All of them.
Holy cow!
It is a little chilly in here.
All right, well, this one's on.
Now I'm gonna have to start talking like Sunset Shimmer.
And now this one's on.
Gonna be displeased about everything.
I mean, it really is so chilly up here in the
this one's
north.
on.
Like, I'm from Seattle, and it's just so much different.
Seattle's so different.
You know what?
Yeah.
It's.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna pet Vincent.
No, it's not. You think Seattle's different?
Joking. You know, it's actually longer for me to get to the Vancouver in Washington than the Vancouver in Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey. So nice, simple question, I think. What was it like breaking into voice acting? How'd you do it? And what was your first experience with that like?
Well,
Okay, maybe not.
I'm
Maybe
trying
a
to
little
think.
complex.
No, I'm trying to think. Do you remember?
My first experience in voice acting, I auditioned for a fairy character for something that was ADR work, which is the dialogue replacement for a cartoon that's already been voiced in another country. So I auditioned for that, didn't get it. And then another studio called me and said, hey, do you want to come in and do some walla? And that's crowd noises and like chatting with you're in the room with a bunch of other actors and you get to like play the, one minute you're playing the teenagers in the cafeteria, chatting about like what class is next. And then the next minute you're like a bunch of zombies and demons or something. It's awesome. So I got my start that way, kind of working my way up to getting roles and things like that.
Yeah, I did a voice demo, back when I was in performing arts school. It was way too long. It was 4 minutes of. I wrote a whole script though. I was pretty proud of the script. It was all these. It was called Fridge Freaks. It was all these different vegetables and condiments talking to each other inside a fridge. But it lasted way too long. I was bored with it too. I just shopped that around and I got a voice agent. And my first prelay cartoon was Sushi Pack, and working with. The likes of Sam Vincent, Tara Strong, I think Brian Dobson was in that, and Scott McNeil. So I was like in awe. Like I remember. I don't know if it was like that for you, but when I first stepped in the studio, it was like Comedian City. Everyone was hilarious. Everyone was like doing different accents and like talking like all these different weird noises. And then everyone would join in and be like, oh, there's a Scottish person, there's an Indian person. My goodness. It was like crazy. And I was just like, I'm so scared right now.
I felt the same way too. Yeah, when I did my first prelay and I was able to act with all these incredible actors like Trevor Duvall and Kathy Westlick and Kathleen Barr and all those doing Kid versus Cat, and I was just like, what am I doing here? You guys are all so amazing. Mm-hmm. So
I know.
It was almost overwhelming, but at the same time, like a huge learning curve, big learning experience.
Yes.
And I had to try desperately not to laugh in session. That's really hard when you've got really, really funny people around you, not to go, because I'm one of those laughers, like covering up and I'll laugh through my nose.
Yes.
Bad.
Yes. We worked on Kid vs. Cat together.
Yes, we did.
You were funny.
You were very funny.
Well, I think
yeah, that's a show that we have in common is Kid versus Cat.
Yes. We played a little boy.
Thank you.
No, he was a big boy.
Thank you. He was a big boy.
Yeah, Lauren's pretty big kid.
It's true.
So before I forget, do you guys have any like favorite lines as your characters?
I think mine was like, oh, my royal lips have tasted common carnival fare. There you go.
Oh, God. What was my favorite Sunset Shimmer line? Where is this twilight sparkle?
You're evil.
I'm so evil.
Scary.
That was so hilarious.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, Rebecca, do you need some water?
Do I need water?
Well, you don't have
You're
any.
so
and
very
Vincent does.
kind. That was very sweet of
I
you.
know I should have shared. Sorry.
I have my coffee. I'm fine. I'm
All
okay.
right.
Thank you.
Second of all, in the movie Equestria Girls, I believe it's Rarity that says Flash Sentry used to be Sunset Shimmer's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Was there any dialogue that you've recorded that may have been cut from the movie about that relationship?
No.
Okay.
No. Like the love scene? No, it never happened.
Don't talk about that. We won't talk about it anymore.
Thank you.
No, there wasn't anything that was cut. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is about feelings. Vincent.
Hi.
How do you feel about what has been said that Flash Sentry is not going to continue in the main series? He was just in the movie.
How do I feel about that? I mean, it is what it is, and then what can you do? I'm happy. I'm just happy to be a part of Equestria Girls to begin with. So,
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the other question is, how do you feel about Tara Strong wishing that she could have your singing role?
Oh, did she say that?
I've seen it, yes, several times on
God,
video.
I didn't know that. But you know what? She is super kind, and so I feel honored that she would say that. But she's so cool and so kind. So she's just flattering me. She's blowing smoke.
Thank you.
CBC shirt?
Yeah!
Canada. Hello there.
Hi.
All right. So my question is, I guess you're more recent players within the voice acting field, and I guess within the long history of the Canadian animation industry, I was wondering if you've had any influences or inspiration from others in terms of the different types of voice work that you do.
Inspirations.
Well, my cousin Danny Man is an LA voice actor. He's my dad's age. He's my first cousin once removed, kind of thing. And he's done voice for a really long time. And he was sort of inspirational for me because I didn't really know that you could do voice acting as a job. Like it was like this is something that people do as a living. And I was inspired by that when I was a kid, and still am. He's amazing. He's on Pixar and stuff like that. He's crazy. I'm allowed to say that here? Sorry, Hasbro.
Pixar.
Yeah. But he did the duck, Ferdinand the Duck in Babe and stuff like that. So he's inspirational for me.
I used to watch cartoons as a kid. You know, Bobby's World was my favorite cartoon, and I always wanted to be a cartoon character. I didn't know how you could do it until you figure out, oh, there's actual industry here, and just was like obsessed with doing Simpson voices as a kid, and then mimicking different people, and actually I fooled a lot of people before talking like this, and they don't know. I say I'm from Hong Kong, and I just come here today to see you. It's a good thing, and then trip them out afterwards. Speaking English, but. When I was doing Sushi Pack, it was really cool to work with a lot of these cool people, great talented voice actors. And Sam Vincent is a person that I really look up to, and I watched a lot of his stuff, like Stormhawks and Robots, and just to see why is he so marketable? Why is he so talented? And so, it's like sort of just mimicking the people that you admire and taking a little bit of that and then putting your own spin on it, Yeah.
For those that don't know, Sam Vincent, he was part of the Flim Flam Brothers and did that song.
Yes.
So just to do that, you're up there.
He's talented.
Hi. This is a question for both of you. I'm wondering what's your entire career, what's your favorite character that you've done, and then the least favorite character, or if you don't have one, the hardest character to do?
Character. Wow, honestly, like I said before, this Dan Dombrowski from Packages from Planet X is my baby. He reminds me of Bobby from Bobby's World. Crazy imagination, super fun, and it's a fun cartoon, and that was a part that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
But also Prince Blueblood, because he's hilarious. He's so full of himself.
I think my favorite character, because the cast was so much fun, was Kid versus Cat. I played a character named Lorne. We were just talking about that earlier, and that's where I got to play this sort of 11-year-old boy who is not terribly bright, but enthusiastic, extremely enthusiastic, and that was probably one of the best and one of the hardest characters I've had to play too. So I wouldn't say the worst, but.
I didn't know it was you, actually, because I was watching the show, and I was like, who's that? Who's that little boy?
Who is that?
It's Rebecca.
I actually watched an episode recently, because it's still airing on YTV, and I recorded on my PVR. And I watched it, and I said, I sound like a man. I sound like a man. And I was very proud of myself.
That was an awesome part. I played Kathy. Kathy Wesley played Dennis.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I played his dad. And
so funny.
That audition was hilarious, because he's apparently Asian.
Apparently.
And so at first they're like, oh, we want an Asian accent. Can you do an Asian accent? I'm like, yeah. So talk like this and stuff like that. And they're like, can you make it bigger? I'm like, okay, like this. Like, yeah, can you do even better? It's like, okay, so all my lines are just yelling like this, and it was like, awesome.
He's yelling over the fence.
Every time it was just like yelling my face off. And he had his catchphrase was, ha, up your face.
It was a funny script too.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was a fun show.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
One of the reasons I was like this in the session the whole time.
Nice. Hi, so my question is, do you prefer playing like the good guy or like the villain?
Oh, that's a really good question. It depends. If the good guy has a lot of flaws, then it's more fun to play a good guy. But if the bad guy is, all the flaws are just out there. So it's more. I have more fun playing the flaws because that's what makes us colorful. Is I don't know, different highs and lows of a personality.
I played the Mandarin in Iron Man Armored Adventures. Woo! One person watched it. Yeah. And thanks, Mom. And but no, I loved playing the evil guy. That was really, really fun. I don't know. I just think they have much more of a struggle, like you were saying, the flaws and a journey, an arc. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, Vincent.
Hi.
I was going to ask you first. Did you ever catch the fact that people like to call Flash Sentry Brad before the movie began? I heard a lot about it on YouTube.
Yeah, I did catch that. I mean, I was like, I was really, psyched to come to BronyCAN, so I was doing a lot of research. Trust me, I was watching a lot of MLP. But yes, I did catch that. And I was like, my name ain't Brad. So I gotta find out that other name.
Okay. People say that Flash Sentry won't. I've heard that people say Flash Sentry won't appear like beyond the movie. But do you think he may pop up again if Hasbro decides, okay, we need a good marketing. Oh, we'll bring back that Flash Sentry guy. We'll put him in like the 5th season. Oh, and there's our next toy line right there.
I am surprised, with the line of dolls that they just came out with. There's no Brad doll. It is rather surprising to me,
Flash
at least.
Sentry.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah, they should. I don't know. I have no idea. I do what I'm told, basically.
Oh, okay.
I go in and do it, and if they bring them back, that'd be awesome. If they don't, that's all right. I had a fun run.
Okay.
But yeah.
I do know that there's supposed to be a comic in the fall, actually, with maybe a little bit more of the backstory of Equestria Girls.
Cool.
Very cool.
So I don't know what they might try and do with it in the future, but
maybe I can read comics on the street.
Okay.
It's like a busking.
Yeah, it's a busking thing. Yeah, sure.
Put a guitar case.
Oh wait. Hey, Rebecca, I'm a little confused. Some people have pointed out that Sunset Shimmer has like sort of strange intentions in the movie. We're gonna need to wreck the fall formal. Okay, so it says you get onto that, but then she says later after that musical number where they're cleaning up, next time show a little restrained. So like, okay, do you need them to destroy it or do you need them not to destroy it? Because like she says, I need this thing to go up without a hitch. So like that's like rather confusing.
Well, that's a good question. I think that because I'm not a writer, I'm not a writer, so I didn't write the script, so I don't know. I don't know the intention there behind that, but I think she may have masterminded the whole thing, the destruction and then the remounting. I think she just knew it was all going to happen that way.
Oh, okay. I was just
She's
a bit
evil.
confused. It's like
Evil mastermind.
Yeah, it's just a bit confusing when she says like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna need you guys to wreck it so Twilight can't get the crown. And then later it's like, oh wait, you guys should show some restraint next time I ask you to wreck something.
I think she changes her mind, to be honest. She changes her mind partway through because she knew her first part was foiled.
Oh, so it's like her mind works kind of like Wheel of Fortune. We're gonna spin the wheel and see what I come up with next. Okay,
I feel like I just changed my mind. I don't know.
Okay, so I wanted to ask if you had any warning about the Brony Fandom, or if your emails just like exploded one day, and first impressions of the Brony community, and maybe impressions now?
I was very surprised to see that there was such a huge fandom, that followers for bronies. And I'm Googling all this stuff, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. There's so many people that are into this show. And then, I saw Andrea and Tabitha and all these people going off to different places and meeting all these cool people. I'm like, I really want to do this. So I told my agent, I'm like, can you get me on one of these conventions? And then sort of the word was sort of out there. And then actually my very first interaction was with Dusty Cat and Screwball. And so I'm very, very happy to finally meet you. Yeah. And yeah, we had a really fun interview on the Everfree network, and Stay Brony, my friends, and yeah, I love it. It's so great, and like everyone is just so welcoming and generous and supportive. I just love the fact that it's really about positivity, love, and yeah, love, basically the most important thing in life. So, yeah.
And my whole world opened up when I started doing Twitter and realized that a lot of the Brony community communicates through Twitter, and that it is a community, and you guys have created a really wonderful, supportive group where you are friends with people from different countries all around the world. It feels like a really close-knit global community, and I love the way that everybody supports each other's art and supports each other's growth, and that you guys made friends, and you actually get to see your friends at cons, which I think is kind of fun too. Mm-hmm. So my experience coming here for the first time has been amazing. Everybody's taking such great care of me and making sure I'm feeling comfortable and safe and having fun, and I'm feeling the love. It's like there's so much. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. No, but it's really beautiful. There's such a strong sense of community that I really, really enjoy. Supportive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we just have a little bit of time left. So if you guys wanted to say anything or sing anything.
Sing something, Rebecca.
Like what I had for breakfast. I don't know.
Could always give you lyrics.
Give me lyrics. Sunset, Shimmer, and Brad duet.
Wow, this is a lot of pressure.
It really is. What's gonna happen?
Rap battle.
Yo, sunset, why you just so mean?
Maybe it's because you dumped me.
That's true, but there's this new girl that came into school. Her name is Twilight.
I know, and it totally drives me crazy.
Okay, that was a pretty good note. I can't hit that. Are we gonna get sued for this?
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
It's all being documented by many video cameras at this time.
I think by the end of the weekend, it's going to be animated fully. Like, check back. I'm sure somewhere online.
We're so fired.
We're totally fired. Well, apparently Flash isn't coming back, so I'm all right.
Wow. I'm fired.
So these guys will be back tomorrow for our panel with lots and lots of VAs. So hopefully you guys enjoy the con, and we'll be seeing you soon.
And hopefully you guys enjoy the con.
Yeah.
Yes,
have fun,
please.
you guys. Nice
All right,
to
thanks,
see you all out.
guys.
I love the costumes. I love your costumes.
So here we are with Vincent Tong. This is his very first convention. You might know him best as Blue Blood, as Pony Joe, and the amazing and handsome Flash Sentry.
And Garble.
And Garble, yes,
Yeah.
and Garble.
Yeah.
So how are you enjoying yourself?
I'm enjoying myself a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Lots of people over here. Lots of good-looking folk. You know, talking to me and giving me bro hoofs and everything. I'm very excited. Boom! That's my first one. My first one. I'm very excited.
I'm privileged.
I'm privileged, Screwball.
I'm privileged.
Because you're like one of my first Brony friends, that talked to me. So
Oh, thank you.
very happy, man.
Oh, I'm super happy. I'm glad that we finally have a convention. Very
Yeah.
first convention in Canada.
Yes.
And your hometown, so can't go wrong.
Vancouver, BC. It's the most beautiful place to be. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm for all out of words. I really am.
Are you excited? I know your flight got delayed.
It got delayed. It was a tragedy, but I managed to make it.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Good.
Thank goodness.
Good. And your bed's fine. The washrooms work.
So good.
Good.
It's a very very lovely hotel. I've been having a blast.
Nice parties, ragers,
parties,
throwing furniture out the window.
No, not
You've been
like
doing
that.
Not like
not
that.
Like that. Not
Yet.
like that. Yet.
Watch out, people who are standing below his room.
Yep.
He might throw stuff. He's dangerous.
Very dangerous. Well, this again, Vincent, and I catch more because this is going to be an amazing convention.
I think so.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
Peace and love.
Peace.